Since we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened since then. Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on our journey. So, where should we go today? Huh? What's up? Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Give up.
I will have order.
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all. Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you... No, wait! Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision. That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here... Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about Kazuha. Right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even if this guy gets to challenge Kazuha to a duel, he won't be able to beat him. Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back. Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean beyond our... Yeah, maybe a little. But then again, most people... Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's... Kazuha is.
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after... Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time... If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times...
Oh, so...
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like... He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenri... I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they...
Just a little while ago, this would have been complete... Thank you! Guess we'll...
All right then. I'll just stay...
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. We invited Mr. Kaedahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaedahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaedahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed? In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. The Kaedahara clan belonged to this class. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaedahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaedahara clans was neither proper nor just. Considering Mr. Kaedahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaedahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaedaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the Almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaedahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaedahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No, this puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedehara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back. This guy was a serious nutcase.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what we're Hey there! We'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaedehara Kazuha, we mean.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaedehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaedehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions? Of mora? Whoa! Oh, wait. Even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaedehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads, and I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaidehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you. Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma! Now there's a familiar name.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me.
Sure, can't hurt.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma Smithy.
Sounds good.
Okay. Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You 2 know each other?
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Yes, you may recall the story of the Raiden Gokaden.
Though all blade... As an example, the Ame... There is nothing mystical to... As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called...
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryo Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryo Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had... Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some... Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind.
Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him. I also cannot know what course... Anyway, should you find him, please let...
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing and...
No, you misunderstand.
Ah, I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state.
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since he'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at... He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like, I'm happy he has a hobby and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet on the last day that I saw him...
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, and I also don't... The next thing I heard was that our...
I see. Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine...
Maybe he was...
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come... Even though I'm still... As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work...
Please don't get upset. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, but the information we gathered from... This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing?
Let's try a change of scenery. And rest assured, we'll notify...
Thank you so much.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two and the fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded. Though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well? Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
Right. I very much agree with you. Working off what we know so far, the chances are that there are still some clues left for us to discover. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like Mr. Nagato being... The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Right. Amenoma Yuya lacks...
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here.
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay.
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse.
Scry the sky.
Wait. I hear something ominous in the...
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down...
Now I'm picking up a strong scent.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. Indeed, we should remain vigilant.
So it's an
The force is definitely the source of the Tatarigami, yet judging from the concentration, I would
Mrs. Nagato said her husband...
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami. From what I've been told, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with.
So which...
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no You needn't worry. Both of us.
What's down the...
Everything's buried in debris. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse.
That was too scary!
All we can do now is keep searching. Two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune. Yes, let's go. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you too... From this point, the trail of the main source of the Tatarigami energy.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly trails! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look. the looks of it, a letter. Well, let's... According to this letter, a conflict arose. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. Yes, if Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately...
Right, so let's get moving.
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest, all the clues that at first seemed disparate. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events...
Wait, you figured it out? So these two cases are connected after all?
I believe so. But it's on with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger.
Why here?
I'm not sure, but on close...
Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So what's your problem?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it... Whoa! Shit!
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself with... The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years. Or rather, as a means to occupy Amenoma Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara...
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of... And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also...
So... swords can become conscious? And control people?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power.
So, Amenoma, tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens when they got tired or injured or...
You're awful!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided, at long last, I'm a Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitota. Now, give your body... Solidify!
Written in the stars.
Rewrite history!
Delved into. I'm going in.
Join me and sever that divine light!
The wind knows me.
Your life is mine.
Do not stand in my way.
Your bluff's fooling no one.
Lost. I can never lose. It is this. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not. He is but a puppet that can be The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you. And even if I were to lose by any means necessary.
Your fighting style. It isn't, but from your movements, I sense only.
Really? You can.
As I've mentioned before, the form. Since the blade is currently possessing Aminome, if you ask me, the mania.
Are you trying to claim? On his deathbed, he passed to me. In that regard, why would.
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've. Now that I've seen inside your mind. After all the.
Oh, that's right.
Only when Mr. Naga. Well, that brings me to my. You were determined to. I think you realized, but the way I see it.
What would you know about any of this?
You returned to Inazu, even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this truly the outcome that you're making? Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. How could you possibly unleash the full potential?
Silence! I must. I will concede that you are most perceptive.
And you should face.
Easy for you to say. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection. It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you would—
How stubbornly you— I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state.
What? Surely you're.
Very well. Then, once we have dealt with them—
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose—
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save up. The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense the power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and—
What?
Even if things take a turn, we have a chance here to save an innocent victim.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful— Now.
Kazuha?
I felt a little dizzy. It's all right. So far, this was as I will.
What should we do next?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between— If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight.
Wait a minute. Paimon, remember, since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that— What about Aminome?
The blade says he'll let Aminome Yuya trail us.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay, fine.
Leave everything on this journey to me. Into the wind! The wind knows me.
My blade!
The very
To the fairy! It's my lucky day!
one with nature. Clouds high.
The birds call!
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can
Something else on your...
How strange. Let's keep going.
Let's get down to business! Say no more!
The wind knows me.
Fairy! Let's get down to business! As one with wind and cloud!
One with nature.
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer.
But what would that do?
I will be careful with it. He's still trying to achieve his... It's fine. Falling leaves
Adorn my night!
Are you okay? It looked like
Yes. And
the sheen's grown a bit dimmer again.
perhaps this time we'll finally have...
True form? What are you talking? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi. Much less, maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But it barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I've finally figured out why it was you wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will the only one who truly understood.
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming? Yup! We...
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same. The wind knows me. Time to go. Into the wind. The wind knows me.
As one with wind and cloud!
Take this!
You fought way better with your own
You are a true Kaede. No one knew anything of my story. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with...
But in this too, you have...
Indeed. No, too much time has passed. My physical... Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years. Skill. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been Tatarigami as a malevolence from the ancient... Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part...
I sensed it, but...
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save. I feel a great sense of regret for the moment you embarked on this journey. You have known this for...
He gave me everything. My life, How could I possibly deny? I said to him...
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. When I touched the hilt for the first time, a bladesmith lay quietly on a newly forged blade lay by his side.
Wow.
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith, he spent the rest of his life in the forge. He felt intense regret at being so he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to... All he wanted to show was that they...
So that... But after that, the blacksmith...
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. Yes, time would not wait or stop because of his determination. Well, he seems to have calmed down, though.
When I look back, I once told, but darkness. Not only did I fail...
You are finally seeing
Since we agreed, but I still can... So...
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the...
It has to be done in this order. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot milder. What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sick, nor have I ever had the chance. My fights were devoid of any noble You are a
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you can convince him to commit to He must have plenty of reason.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has...
I see. I utterly despise. If a duel can help to set this state, I do not wish to be a...
There's no need to worry.
Thanks for your help.
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a...
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux. Yep, still. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin art. Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art. Amenome Yuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor.
One with nature. The wind knows me.
Time to go. Wind strider. Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Thank you for the experience. Although he appears battered and broken, his sense of savage...
You also fought well. There are a few things that I shall leave.
I must apologize to you for all that...
You need not seek my forgiveness. It is too late.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will... I strayed far from the straight and narrow. I beseech you. Please,
Yes.
Thank you.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there to...
What does he want?
I'm not sure.
It's you!
I am sorry to have troubled you.
A prized Ishin blade. Considering therefore... But I have some good news as well.
Really?
Yes. Badly... And now that Hyuya is back...
I think I know what you want.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for...
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. I have decided...
But... he...
Thank you. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its worth to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's what his consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he did only in the final moment.
Seems like he really...
The same fervent ambition that gave, speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistake. I understand. Hearing his your quest to face the gods, and after everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little.
Oh,
I will continue to support you from this point on.
wait! Shouldn't we also...
Oh, you're right. And it's also time to give...
The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse.
Wow, you sure...
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon by means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to... And so, it looks like I will likely continue with...
I see.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand.
I am aware, but I...
Very well, I can understand. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself...
Great.
Where will you travel to?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Ba. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.